Okay, so welcome to our first challenge lesson of the day. You're going to see that it's not split so much into English and challenge anymore because it's going to be very much mixed throughout what you're doing. So hopefully you've watched the video from Miss Fermor and Mrs Mitchell explaining that you are going to choose what your project is going to be on for the next 2 weeks. So I'm really excited to see what you decide to do, but there's a few processes we have to go through in order to get there. So normally when we do these challenges, we identify the task, we think about what we already know, and we go from there. But we're going to have to start at a slightly different place this week because first of all, we've got to get to a place where we decide what it is we want to do. So you've got lots and lots of options here. You could either choose to think about experiences that you have already done while you're at school, and it might be that within one of those experiences there was something you really wanted to learn about or something you wanted to do and it just wasn't possible to do it. So for example, when my class did the Romans, we looked very much at the Roman army, but you might have wanted to look at Roman rulers or Roman cities or transport. It could have been absolutely anything, and it might be that you decide to do your project on that. Or it might be that you have a real interest in something in particular and you want to take that interest and run with it. So it's completely up to you. Your project can be about anything that you want. Now, where we're going to start is with our mind mapping of ideas for our project. So you'll see on the website I've put a photo of mine, but I'm just going to talk to you about what I did. So here is my example of project ideas. So just like always, I've got my ideas in the middle and I've got what would I like to do a project about as my question at the bottom. Now, you can see it's not like a traditional mind map. I have got my coloured stalks on here, but I've also got other arrows on there as well, and I'll explain what all that's about. So on each coloured stalk, I've taken a subject area. So here I've got science, geography, history, and art and design. Now you could choose different areas, you don't have to choose these are just the ones that I came up with. And then within those areas, I've come up with broad topics that I could choose to do. So forces and magnets, space, chemical reactions, sound, electricity. I've also put on the website an overview of some of the things that Year 3 and Year 4 cover in science and history and things like that, just to get your ideas going. You do not have to choose one of those, it's just if you're struggling to come up with ideas. So again, I've got my broad ideas down here for geography, like travel, continents, mountains, weather. I've got historical ideas. I absolutely love the Egyptians. I've got them on there. Greeks. I love a bit of ancient civilizations. I've got the Mayan civilization down there. And then I've also got my art and design. So I could look at painters, sculptures, printing, all those kind of things. Now what I've also got in here is these individual little red arrows, and they were kind of things that didn't fit neatly onto my stalks. So I've got ideas like the Titanic. I might like to learn about the Titanic. The Olympics. What would the world be like in 3000? So this could be about thinking about what I think the future could be like. I could design something that I think will have been in existence in the world in life in 3000. Could think about how technology's progressed so far and where I think it's going. So it could be a very futuristic one. I've got dinosaurs, global warming. Very shortly, it is the anniversary of the rescue mission of Apollo 13, which is one of the space shuttles that went to or tried to go to the moon and had to be rescued. And you might like to do something about that. It depends where your interests lie. But at this point, you need to be coming up with as many different ideas as possible. And the reason I say that is because later on we're going to be looking at possible outcomes for your project. And so your favourite idea might change once you start to think about what that looks like as a project, okay? So do try and come up with as many as you can. You don't have to do a mind map. As always, you're in control of how you present your learning, but it does need to be neat, it should be bright, it should be eye-catching, it should have words and pictures, okay? So I've put a photo of mine on the website for you, and I look forward to seeing what ideas you come up with as possible project ideas. Have fun!